I'd see him sitting on that couch all day long, just staring at that Hollywood hogwash.
Our favorite show was Hollywood Hogwash.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Hollywood Hogwash. I'm Andrew Pisano, along with my brother Joe Pisano, Josh Reese, and Aaron Rosa. Four-Man Podcast is back.
Get a little closer. Yeah. You know, like most people's top 10 worst case superhero movies, this has got to be on there.
Oh, it's definitely top 10, yeah.
You know what I mean? On everyone's list is what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just fantastic. Combining an old world with a new world, time travel. Just every scene in this movie is just, it means something, and it's fun. It's shot well.
There's so many cool shots.
Yeah.
Just like every scene is a great scene, and every scene has just like a really cool shot.
And things that people had issues with the first three movies, they fixed with this.
They retconned, especially X-Men 3.
Yeah.
Even though in future movies they ruined what they retconned here, but, you know, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just erase Dark Phoenix from your memory.
Very true. But like you mentioned, it was a great blend of like two movies and bringing back some old characters, new characters. It was really good.
Yeah, I mean,
really
having Hugh Jackman interact with James McAvee and
it's great. Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender. Yeah, like it's just amazing.
Yeah. One of the rare cases where the studio mandating, like, no, you're going to do this with the movie. Thank God they did.
We were talking about that last week, how, you know, First Class, it was supposed to be a direct sequel to First Class, but it didn't do that well in theaters. So they were like, bring back Hugh Jackman. It can't just be a cameo. He has to star in the movie, and this is what it led to. It led to greatness.
And that goes to something because this movie tied a record previously held by The Dark Knight Rises for the most Academy Award nominated actors and actresses in a single comic book movie.
Oh, that's
And when you
funny.
have these kind of great actors
Yeah.
I didn't realize
in a
that.
movie like that, like just like Dark Knight Rises, like you're going to have a great
Wow.
movie. With that list being Halle Berry, Michael Fassbender, Hugh Jackman, Jennifer Lawrence, Michael Lerner, Sir Ian McKellen, Elliot or Ellen Page, and Anna Paquin. So
That and retroactively, so we had, like, when the third X-Men movie happened, we all kind of had a sour taste in our mouth. Like,
Oh, God.
Okay. But then combining these, it kind of retroactively made us, like, nostalgic for that cast. We loved seeing them in this.
yeah.
That's how I kind of felt about, I mean, we talked about Avengers. Like, I never liked Captain America in any of the movies. And then finally, when you see Avengers Infinity War, I was like, oh, he's pretty cool. And then even in Endgame, when he's like, let's go get this son of a bitch. I'm like, oh, finally. He finally grew some balls, you know?
Sure.
Like, I felt that way too because, X2 was the only good one of the first three.
Right.
And then, you know, we talked about it last week, but like X-Men Origins Wolverine was fucking terrible.
Right.
You know, like
It just got too silly at the end. Like they had a good idea. Because what was it? The Wolverine where he goes to Japan?
Yeah.
Like that wasn't bad.
that was good until
Yeah.
the end. The end just got, you know,
little
insane,
zany.
but
Yeah.
it was mostly good.
Right.
No, but in this movie, it was like really gritty, and all the characters were really fucking interesting. It was really good.
It was.
really,
And
really
just
good.
a great plot. And just a great plot. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
Forget
And it
time.
was-
Time travel is always going to be confusing.
That's-
Always.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's
Time
going to be
travel
weird
that
and
worked.
confusing. Yeah. But the plot just kind of like made sense. I like how it was like this world is existing. The future exists while the past is going on.
Right.
So like in other words, there's a deadline. Right.
Yes.
You can't just take 2 years to figure this out.
Right.
And this
so it's great.
And this was such an amazing payoff because when we saw the Wolverine, there was the post-credits scene where both Professor X comes back out of nowhere,
Yeah.
Magneto's there, and it's like, what the
And
fuck
that
is
set
this?
up this movie.
And that set up this, and we're
Right.
what a payoff.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was so out of nowhere too.
It was great. Absolutely. Yeah, so we we did First Class last week, and then I did a poll on the Patreon, and you guys voted for us to keep it going. So here we are with X-Men Days of Future Past.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. So next week?
Well, if they want. I mean, Apocalypse is still great. We all love Apocalypse.
I love Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Apocalypse is great.
But that's as far as we go.
Oh, I was going to ask. Okay, so no Phoenix.
No, Dark Phoenix, good God.
I was gonna say
There's
we
some
just
good action scenes at
skip
least in that
that and
movie.
just go straight to Logan. I don't know, whatever.
Well, I don't know how many X-Men movies we need to do in a row, but yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I don't want to see Dark Phoenix ever again.
Yeah, we made that mistake with Spider-Man. We watched like 4 or 5 of them in a row.
4 in a row, yeah. It was too many.
Too much.
Yeah, so we have one new patron to thank. Thank you to King James.
Nice.
Nice.
LeBron's a fan.
LeBron's here.
I guess so.
fan?
Wow.
He's a fan.
I'm
not really a fan.
I'm
but he
honored.
is.
I'm honored. That's nice.
Thank you, King James. Go to patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. We're currently doing reviewing Echo. We're 2 episodes in,
Echo.
So far it's pretty good, you know? Just looking forward to more Kingpin in the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also have reviews of Last of Us, Gen V, Secret Invasion, and a bunch of yeah, Mandalorian, all that stuff. So go sign up, give it a try. Patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. All right, so this week we decided to do our top 5 of 2023. That's top 5 worst movies, top 5 best movies, and then top 5 worst and best TV shows. And we're also going to be doing fan awards next week. So submit your fan awards again at patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. Your vote will count and we'll announce the winners next week. But we all did our separate lists. So whoever wants to go first can go first. And Josh, you go first. How about that?
All right. Should I start with top 5 movies or
Yes.
like TV shows? Okay. Top five movies.
Best movies?
Yes. Going from 5 to 1. First, or number 5.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mutant Mayhem?
Mutant Mayhem.
I still haven't
was
seen that.
really good.
But I want to.
It was fun.
I've seen like the first 15, and I was like, yeah, this is good.
Well, I remember when it was like coming out, we were like, "Oh, it's just a kids movie, Nickelodeon," but it was actually pretty fun.
But you know who produced it?
Yeah, I can't
Seth
do it.
Rogen.
Go ahead.
He always makes good shit.
Yes,
really does.
4, Guardians of the Galaxy, of course.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah.
3 was Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Yeah.
Really
Probably
good
all in
movie.
all
It's
of
very
us.
good.
Yep.
Number 2, I think, might be a surprise, but it was really good.
Barbie.
And no, that was actually an honorable mention of mine. But no, it had a
it was.
WWE superstar.
Oh, I know you're gonna
Yes.
knock at the cabin.
Knock at the cabin.
Yeah, you really
Yeah.
That
like
was
that.
so fun.
I
was
liked
so
it too.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then, of course, number 1, Across the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse.
All right.
So what about you, Aaron?
Top 5 movies. Can I mention a few honorable mentions?
Go for it.
65 was a good one that Josh hated, but
I
Andrew
like
and I
65.
liked.
Yeah.
You watched that?
Yeah, I liked
I
it.
haven't seen it yet.
It was a good one.
Okay, I heard it was bad, so
I
it's,
liked
two
it.
of you liked it.
I liked it. It's
Good.
just a simple movie of
They go back
a
and-
guy shooting dinosaurs. You know, it's
Sounds-
like
sounds great to
it's
me.
like this is what Jurassic Park should be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they made dinosaurs scary. Also, Strays was kind of a fun movie. That was the I think Will Ferrell and
Yes,
Kevin Hart.
It was
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Will Forte is like a human he's the bad guy in the movie, and he's
Right.
great.
yeah, it was fun.
He's like, what? He's like, what are all these dogs doing here? What is this? Some sort of dog movie?
Yeah, it was good. Also, Air, the story of getting Jordan
Yeah.
to
Oh,
sign.
I still have to see that.
Yeah, the story of getting Jordan
Ben
to
and
sign
Matt.
with Nike.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
good.
It was
Ben
fun.
and Matt back together.
Okay, so my top 5, starting at number 5, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Nice.
I still have not seen that. That's one of the 3 that won't make this
It's
list.
so
but I haven't
fan
seen
servicey.
They- a
it.
lot
That
of
sounds great.
A lot of fan service.
It's great.
They did it well. Number 4, Sisu.
Yes.
I haven't seen that either.
Fun, unexpected action movie.
Sisu's awesome.
It's great. Number 3, John Wick Chapter 4.
There you go.
Beautiful, beautiful action
see
movie.
that one.
Number 2, Fast X. They got back on track.
Fast X.
Back on track. Tons of fun. Amazing. And number 1, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Good.
Okay.
That's
Love
it.
So
Yeah.
not even across the Spider-Verse in your...
Look, don't get mad. I still haven't
mad.
gotten around to seeing it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why
that
it's not on my
explains that.
list.
All right. Fair enough. All right, Joe.
Yeah. Honorable mentions. First of all, I finally saw Renfield on the plane coming back from New York.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
I liked it, yeah.
Like Nicolas Cage they were like just do whatever you want.
Ham it up.
And it was great.
Cage it up.
I even liked the stupid story. It was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I thought it was really fun. So honorable mentions, The Flash, only because Keaton came back. I love No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence. Air, like you mentioned, Fast X, and Knock at the Cabin Door.
Yeah.
So top five. Number 5 would be Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Number 4, Oppenheimer. Number 3, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. Number 2 for me, because I really thought about this, is Godzilla -1. I'm not a big fan of reading
haven't
movies,
seen
but
it.
I
Haven't
just
seen
thought
it.
the story was great from start. Like it actually had a story with the people. Usually the people just running and crying and screaming, but
Yeah.
I thought the story was good. Some fun ending stuff. Godzilla was so scary in that movie.
Again, if it was just Godzilla, that was a 10. But yeah.
Heck yeah, look at it. And then Guardians of the Galaxy, I put as my number 1.
Okay.
Guardians 3.
Nice. All right. This is my top 5 best movies, no looking, of 2023. All right. Top 5. At number 13. I don't know why they're laughing. Number 13, I have 65.
He's
Nice.
serious.
Number 12, Renfield.
Yes, good.
Number 11, Knock at the Cabin.
Nice.
Number 10, Dumb Money.
Oh,
Dumb
the,
Money was good. It was about the GameStop
right.
stock.
Right.
I
I wanna
started
see
that,
that.
on the plane.
Yeah.
And then I saw Renfield, and I was like, oh, let me watch that. It was quicker, too.
Right.
That's got the Riddler in it, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that's
the new
right.
Riddler, yeah. Number 9, Strays.
Nice.
Number 8, Oppenheimer.
Yep.
Number 7, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
So good.
Number 6, Super Mario Bros. And then the top 5, we have Fast X coming in number 5. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 at number 4. Sisu at number 3. Number 2 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And then number 1 is John Wick Chapter 4.
Good choice.
Yeah.
You know, I totally forgot about Seisu. If I had to re-edit my list, I think I would drop Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and add Seisu. But I mean, like, it's such a good movie.
It's a lot of, I mean,
Really
yeah, it's a
good.
poor man's John Wick.
Yeah,
but it's great.
And it was like the most random movie we saw that last year too.
It was.
Like it was open in like what, one theater around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah.
It reminded me when you sent me that website. It helped a lot. There's a lot of movies.
Yeah.
But it reminded me of all the movies I have to still see, like John Wick and
yeah.
Sisu.
No,
I haven't
like
seen Super Mario
I
Brothers.
still need to see Killers of the Flower Moon,
Yeah,
Scorsese, but it's
same.
3.5 hours. Oh my god.
I know.
And I don't have that much faith in it because Irishman was that long and it wasn't good.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go first with worst movies of 2023, and it's only 5, which is kind of surprising. Like on it, like I really had a hard time with Flash because like the parts with Michael Keaton are so good, the rest of the movie's garbage, but it's not in my top 5 worst. There are number 5, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Come on. All right, fine.
Number 4, Shazam: Fury of the Gods. This is where it just gets really bad. Transformers is like silly fun though.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Shazam, my God, that was terrible. Number 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Number 2, Barbie,
Yeah.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And then number 1, Cocaine Bear. Which, Josh, that was not
So
on your
much
top
fun.
list.
I was
That
on my
not
honorable
your top
mention.
list.
I was on my honorable mention.
Cocaine Bear is so much fun.
I
Yes.
hated Cocaine Bear.
What the
So much fun.
Joe.
It's so much fun.
How dare you?
Hold on. You're going to watch a movie named Cocaine Bear and have expectations for it?
Yes.
I had
for
zero
fun.
expectations. I'm a
I had
big Kerry Russell fan.
I had expectations of it being fun. Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't even fun.
I thought it was fun.
It was a fun romp through the
Every
woods.
time the bear would
with the
attack
bear
someone, they would
coming.
cut away. You wouldn't see any violence. Like,
Joe.
I didn't like that at all.
It's not on my top 12.
You're on Josh's side here, buddy. You're on Josh's side
It happens.
The
Aaron,
rest of it was
happens.
just like crappy dialogue that was not funny to me. I don't know.
Fun. Come on.
I'm just because this was number 1. If it was 5, I wouldn't.
I
do
was
so.
expecting it to be great, and I was very let down. I thought it would just be like a shitty B movie, you know what I mean? Just like Mega Shark or something, and it wasn't
Right.
even, at least not to me. So,
Yeah. All right, we'll go back this way. My bottom number 5 is Iron Claw. Look, I thought as a whole, you know why it bothered me, and I said it on the show, but I knew it was a depressing movie, but I just thought the acting was so stale for great actors. This movie had such great actors. The Ric Flair thing was ridiculous.
Oh, God.
And it was just the tracking of it. I don't know. Again, you know, this is in honor of you, Aaron, because I know you hate sad endings, and what are they supposed to do? I get it, but I didn't like the acting in it.
Yeah.
Number 4, The Machine. I think we did that on this show.
We
Or
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that was,
It was
number,
okay.
Number 3's Barbie. Number 2, which would have been high on your list. I don't think you've seen it, The Marvels.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then number 1, this was just on Netflix at the end of 2023 with Julia Roberts. And I think
Oh, I know what
Clooney
you,
or
I know what you're
no,
gonna
it wasn't Clooney. Who's the actor that? Oh, I can't think of his name right now. But anyway, Leave the World Behind, and it was kind of one of these like. It just had too big of a message. It was a disaster movie. No one's cell phones work, and they're stuck in an Airbnb, and the owners of the Airbnb show up, and then they're kind of like, ooh, what's going on in the world? And there's no communication. All the lines are down. Like, what would we do if we didn't have our cell phones, guys? We would all just die. Like, it's kind of like one of those. There's like a big noise, and they're like, they hold their, and then like, the end is just so stupid. It's a message movie. It's one of those
Yeah.
movies.
Mahershala Ali and Ethan
Hawke
Hawke,
is what I was
yeah.
thinking of. It's one of those movies where you're like, I think the government made Hollywood make this movie because
Oh God, is
this
the last
like
shot
real.
like is the last shot like Kamala Harris? Like, guys, you need to behave.
No, it's not, but like almost like kind of like Mission to Mars. I always thought was made. You ever seen that movie, Gary Sinise?
Yeah.
Tim
Robbins.
Robbins. It's so horribly bad that you're like, this movie was made because I think this is real.
Yeah.
And the government wants to just tease us like, how did they react? Yeah, okay. So then they know this is a thing.
Yeah.
So it won't shock them when we tell them we're all just Martians.
We got to get them ready for the aliens.
So bad. So Leave the World Behind is if you can
Okay.
watch like a short clip of it on YouTube, don't waste your 2 hours of your life.
Yeah.
It sounds like the lame version of the movie we saw. What was it, 2 years ago with Jonah Hill and Jennifer Lawrence when they were?
But that was a comedy. Don't Look Up was
Yeah,
a
that was a
comedy.
Oh
comedy.
my God.
Horrible.
It's so bad.
I was hoping that was made this year, so
Yeah.
it could be number 1. I was
No,
like,
that
oh,
was-
it just came in at
I'm
2022.
pretty sure that was on our top 5 worst list last year. Yeah,
Oh,
my God,
God.
that movie was so. You were trying so hard,
horrendous.
and it was Adam McKay, who everything else he's done is amazing.
Great.
But then he tries to do the political, bullshit, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God.
Right.
All right,
Good,
Aaron.
Okay, all right. My top 5 worst movies. Okay, number 5, The Flash. I mean,
Fair
I
enough.
get it. I get it.
I get your point, Andrew, but even though the Keaton scenes were that great, it could have been so amazing.
Oh, yeah.
with
Yes.
Keaton being.
I mean,
in
that
it.
CGI scene at the end with all the it would look terrible. It was supposed to be like the best scene, and it was horrible.
Yeah,
the Nicolas Cage. Well, we CGI'd Christopher Reeves and Nicolas Cage. Well, one of them is still alive.
Well, if we're gonna CGI one, we might as well CGI both of
Even
them.
Nicolas Cage was like, I wasn't even there.
Yeah,
They didn't even call me.
I mean, we knew
What?
I could have been there.
we knew Keaton was going to be the best thing in the movie.
I
but
just wanted to be Superman.
he couldn't be the only thing in the movie.
Yeah.
All right,
And the CGI babies in the beginning
Oh
scene.
my
like,
God.
where it's
It
like,
was-
is this 1995?
the CG was so bad.
Yeah.
And number 4, Disney's Wish. You know,
Blech.
it's,
You have a kid?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a kid.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
but growing up with like Aladdin and Lion King, it was just so flat and kind of messy.
I heard it's
a
horrible.
little bit. It
Yeah.
was just, it was horrible. It was not interesting.
Right.
Number
I'm
3.
sorry that like when my children were kids, we had like Toy Story and Finding Nemo. They're fun movies. Now you just got to hear about messages and
Oh, dude, the shit
what's
I have to watch
what's
with
the
my
point
kid
of the
now.
movie and
The shit
my
I have to
God.
watch with my kid now is rough. Number 3, and leading into number 3, Migration. This is the studio that made the Despicable Me movies.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Like you would think the studio that made the Despicable Me movies should be able to make at least
Oh.
kind of an entertaining movie. It was so
is it about birds?
boring. It's like
Birds!
Yes, it's about birds. It's about birds. It's like someone just did like an AI script and
Yeah.
just like, okay, make plot points. Movie done. It's
Yeah, kids' movies
horrible.
suck. What else?
Shrek was amazing. That was when
What else? Number 2, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
fine.
Joe, I love Transformers like you, but they could have done so much with Unicron and they fucked it up. The movie
That's
was
true.
so boring.
It's true.
And number 1, Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
All
There
right.
you go.
No Barbie on your list.
The one expectation is fun, and they couldn't even do that.
No, he didn't see Coke. He didn't see Barbie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
It's disappointing.
Yeah.
Disappointing two people at
I'm very
Cocaine Bear on their
envious
list.
of Aaron.
Yes.
Very disappointing. 65 was number 5 for me. It was just so slow and so
Some ups and downs on this
Lame.
panel.
Well, you know, Josh doesn't like scary
so
movies.
lame, so slow. Ant-Man, that was terrible. That was number 4.
Yeah.
Flash, that was number 3.
Damn.
Transformers, Rise of the Beast was number 2, and the only reason it's not number 1 is because I have hope for the future of a G.I. Joe spinoff with Transformers.
I don't think it's ever going to be
I don't
made.
think it's going to happen. The movie didn't do well.
I'm hoping. You never know. You never know. And then, of course, number 1 was Shazam! Fury. That was the god awful worst
All right,
thing.
fair enough.
So if we're doing snake draft style,
Go.
am I going back this
Yeah,
way now?
sure,
Okay.
yeah,
Do it.
So top 5 movies, top 5 TV shows.
Thank you.
Number
Nope.
5, top 5.
Whoop.
Just top 5 TV shows.
How about top 5 tits shows?
Top 5 tits.
Just do 2 tits.
5 Tits is Invincible. Really good. I can't wait to see the next
Part 2.
part 2. Loki was number 4. Very good, but had some ups and downs. Gen V was just so strong.
Yeah,
Start to
absolutely.
finish. I mean, it's a roller coaster. Last of Us was fucking amazing.
Yes, sir.
But it was not better than the final season of Succession.
I knew that was gonna. I
Succession.
knew that was gonna be your number 1.
Succession was number
Because
1.
you've been busting nuts
It
over
was
that show.
amazing. Well, Joe, have you seen
I
Succession?
have.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
on my list.
Okay, good. I like to. I want to see where it is on yours. Well, let's see where Aaron is.
All right.
All right, top 5 shows 2023. Number 5, the last season of Barry. Nice ending for that show. Number 4, Gen V. So fucking good. I didn't get to talk to you guys about this, by the way, because I think I missed the last couple Patreon episodes. But holy shit!
Yeah.
what an end! Like,
know.
like she goes full.
Because we didn't
No spoilers.
spoiler alert. You got to yell it out there.
Got
Aaron,
it, got it.
We're not on that part of the show.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3, first half of Invincible. So good.
Yep.
Number 2, Loki. Great season. Probably last season of Loki.
Yeah.
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 And number 1, Last of Us. Amazing
Yeah.
show.
So good. So good.
I'll just throw out my honorable mentions. Ahsoka, Winning Time, Loki. There's a show called Poker Face with Natasha Lyonne.
From Orange Is the New Black.
Yeah, it's a nice little show. She knows when you're lying. It's not a superpower. She can just tell when you're lying, and it's
Gotcha.
kind of cool because she solves mysteries without even meaning to. She's not even in that business. She just kind of does. Only Murders in the Building. I can't recommend that show more with Martin Short and Steve Martin. They're just fun. And it's only
Right.
22-minute episodes, and they're great. Selena is in it. Last of Us and Succession. And it was hard keeping those out of the top 5, but these 5 shows I love a lot.
Okay.
Number 5, Barry. Number 4, Reacher. I fucking love Reacher. Sorry. Unless it came out, I think it came out right before
Season
the year.
2. Yeah. Sure.
Right, like in December. Number 3, Invincible. Number 2, Ted Lasso, because it was the final season of Ted Lasso. One
Still
of my
haven't watched
favorite
that
all-time
show.
shows. Number 1 for me was Gen V.
Gen
I just
V.
thought from start to finish, it was such a great show.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, this is my top 5 best TV shows of 2023. Number 7, we have Invincible. Invincible season 2. It's
Yeah.
only that low just because, again, it's only 4 episodes.
Right.
Only the first half. Number 6, Loki.
Yep.
Number 5, Barry.
Yep.
Number 4 was Winning Time. Season 2 of Winning Time.
So
the
good.
only reason, first of all, season 1 is amazing.
Great.
And season 2 is still really good, but the only it just sucks that the show got canceled and they had to wrap it all up in one little scene at the end. Like, that's what happened. They didn't know.
Really?
Yeah. HBO told them, like, hey, the ratings are way down. And this was during the writers and actors strike, so they couldn't promote the show. So the ratings were so down. So they filmed that last scene of the show just for, like, hey,
I was wondering what happened
damn.
Because
It
it
was
went really,
supposed to
really
be-
fast and it was done. I was like, oh,
It was supposed to be a couple more seasons at
that
least.
makes sense. Why? That show's so good.
It just got the ratings
So
tanked
good.
for the second season.
God.
And they blame the strikes.
Man, HBO just straight up.
Yeah. I know.
Damn.
Like, that
All right.
show is amazing if
Yeah.
anyone likes basketball. Number 3, I put Gen V. Really love Gen V, as we all did. Number 2 was The Last of Us. It's just so special to me because it was this video game I played that, Like it was like I said, that was the first time where I knew what was gonna happen.
Right.
But like I didn't care. It was still so good, you know?
Yeah.
And they changed some stuff. Then number 1 was Hard Knocks training camp with the New York Jets.
Ah, shit. I just thought about fiction. I didn't think about nonfiction. Oh, man.
Hey.
So much hope.
That's-
so much hope for them to rip it from you.
Oh, that's the best part is the ending.
Yeah.
Like the ending of the Jets just sucking.
Yeah.
You know, the first game of our hero going down.
Well,
Yes.
there's a
Horrible
producer.
ending.
My number 1 worst TV show is the New York Jets 2023 season.
That's also
no.
a scripted TV show.
That's funny.
That's
yeah,
right.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Well done. I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that as a TV show.
All right.
We loved it so much.
It was so awesome. We watched it together. It was great.
Oh, God.
I watched it twice every week because my wife would also want to watch it.
My wife.
So I was like, all right, let's watch again.
Yeah.
All right. Top 5 worst TV shows of 2023. Have to give a little assist to our fan, Bobby Soydam, because I asked our fans, like, submit your awards for worst everything and best. And he put AEW Dynamite. And I only had 4 shows on my list because I didn't really watch that many shows last year, or I guess shows I didn't like last year. So number 5, AEW Dynamite. Thanks, Bobby. Number 4 was Ahsoka. It just, it never went anywhere. Like, it started off good, but then it just went nowhere, and the end was just like a fucking wet fart. Like, nothing happened. Oof. Number 3 was Justified City Primeval.
Oh, I didn't even watch it because you hated it so much.
I only saw the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And I fucking hated it. And yes, Aaron, I saw the very end of the season finale. But still, it was like, it wasn't Raylan Givens anymore. He was someone else. He was a shell of himself. I guarantee you, they wrote a script for a TV show and said, let's just throw in Raylan Givens and make it Justified. And it's nothing like Justified. So that's number 3. Number 2 is The Mandalorian Season 3. It was so fucking bad. We couldn't believe it as we were watching and reviewing it. We were like, again, nothing happens in the end. It was garbage. And then number 1, Secret Invasion. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
There's no explanation needed. Joe?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say, you know what the crazy thing is? You'd rather watch AEW than Secret Invasion.
Because they have MJF.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You
Well,
know? Right.
not
It hurts AEW because there's 52 fucking shows,
right.
but
Yeah.
at least they have MJF.
Could
and
you
Christian
imagine
Cage.
52 episodes of Secret Invasion?
Yeah.
Kill myself now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So here's my top 5 worst shows. Number 1, Secret Invasion.
It's starting from the top.
Aaron, that's it. That's my list.
Okay.
Secret
All right.
Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
I could put some wrestling shows on there. That's probably a good idea. If I had to really round out my top
Right.
4 or 5.
Sure.
It's like Collision, Dynamite, Raw, SmackDown, maybe
Yeah.
like in that order. But Secret Invasion, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, Andrew, that you said that. I had 4 also, and I thought, God, like current wrestling shows have got to be the 5th spot, just because I used to love it. And it, but my other 4, number 4, The Mandalorian. Everything you said, it went nowhere. It was boring. As
That
high,
sucks because the first 2 seasons, this is season 3, right? That you guys are referring
Yeah.
to?
Yes.
I never watched 3.
as,
Oh,
as,
no.
1 and 2 were so good.
as
One and two
high
are
a
amazing.
watermark. Yeah, as
Don't
high
ever
a
watch
watermark
the 3rd season.
as the first 2 worst.
They're making a movie.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
not,
literally, you won't miss anything. Nothing happened in season 3 that you'll watch the movie and be like, "Oh, I missed something." Nothing happened.
No.
That sounds
Awful.
horrible.
Yeah, it is horrible.
Very sad. Number 3, Justified City Primeval. He was not Raylan Givens anymore.
whole season.
I watched the whole season.
commitment.
I kept thinking he would, like, something would happen,
Yeah.
a switch would flip, and he would become the old Raylan. Never happened.
Right.
Never happened. Number
Is
2.
Boyd in it?
Well,
Well, I don't know.
What, in the last 3 minutes?
the last scene.
The last
is-
scene?
yeah.
I don't know.
Is
Maybe.
it setting up something else?
I guess the season 2 if they're gonna make it.
Oh, God.
Maybe. Number 2, Ahsoka. Everything you said, it started
Right.
nice, promising, did nothing. Number 1, Secret
Invasion.
Invasion.
3 for 3.
Fuck you, Secret
3 for 3,
Invasion.
Josh. Don't fuck this
Well,
up.
you know, Josh.
No, I think we might sweep that one. Pretty sure we're
right,
going to. Number 5 was Ahsoka. I had so much hope for General Thrawn. Then he just ended up being.
The trailers for Ahsoka. Remember how excited we were?
We were. Then he just was a giant blueberry, whatever. The Mandalorian, I really had high hopes for that, but then that was super boring. Even had Giancarlo Esposito, and that was kind of a wet fart. Whatever. I don't care.
Esposito, yeah.
Every like syllable he pronounced was wrong.
It's okay. It's okay.
You're the Hispanic and you can't say Esposito.
No.
Esposito.
He didn't even say Giancarlo right.
Espacito.
Giancarlo.
Juan Carlo. Juan Carlo.
Gene Carla.
Number 3 was a movie a TV show none of y'all had on y'all's list.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have a movie on the TV show.
Go fuck yourself. You know what I meant. It was.
Okay, hold on. Good, Josh,
It
good.
was The Bear from
The Bear.
Hulu.
Everyone loves that show.
It is so boring though, and it's a comedy, but it's not funny at all.
Tell us more,
I don't think it's very funny. It's one of the most boring shows I've ever seen in my
All
entire
right,
life.
okay, all right.
Wow.
You didn't get the show.
It's
Like
really
a 9 out of 10 on IMDb.
I really didn't get it.
All right.
Number 2, of course, is AEW, and then number 1 is Secret Invasion. I still cannot
Sweet
get over
bet.
what's his face's wife and
yeah.
and what's his face trying to kill each other and then they'll kill each other.
My God,
It's
they
so
both
stupid.
shoot at each other.
I guess we're gonna
on purpose.
stay married.
That's the thing. That's so bad.
Oh, that's right.
Go fuck
was so
themselves. It was
awful.
awful.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we didn't even talk about the horrible CGI with the alien at the end. What the fuck was her name?
Oh,
Geisha? Gaia?
Gaia.
Gaia.
We figured that out last show.
God.
Blah.
That
No,
final
it's-
fight
yeah.
scene.
Yeah. Man, John Bernthal's in this show.
The bear.
Joe McHale. Oliver Platt, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, it's not very.
Yeah,
fun.
this looks good.
It's
Abby
not fun.
Elliott.
It's not funny. It should
Okay.
be funny.
You know what? I'm going to watch
It's
it
not.
because everyone's
Please.
telling me to.
Yeah,
I wanna
let me
watch
know.
it. I've heard good things.
Let me know. I want to know if I'm wrong. I'm
Yeah.
probably wrong.
All right.
All right, that is all for our awards. You can submit your fan awards at patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. Majority rules, obviously, and we will announce those awards next week. All right, on to the news and rumors, a.k.a. the Hollywood Hogwash. All right, so Daredevil Born Again has resumed filming after a long hiatus due to the writers and actors strikes. So that's good news. The Hollywood Reporter says that the show will no longer be 18 episodes, as previously announced, but instead will be more in line with the original Netflix series model, which were 13 episodes per season. And I think it's a good thing.
Yeah,
18
probably.
is a lot.
Yes.
That's a lot. Remind me, is it canon from what we saw before?
As of last week, they announced it's all canon now.
It's all canon. Good. Okay.
Previously,
Get
they
I want to see
excited,
new stuff.
Joe.
I don't want to see
Get
rehash.
excited.
Right. Well, no. Previously, they said none
gonna
of it's
redo it.
canon.
Okay.
And now they're bringing back Karen and what's
Foggy.
his name? Foggy
Bear.
Yeah. Like
Yes.
they're coming back. You know.
They heard the backlash from the fans, and they're like, "Finally, I guess we'll throw you fucking nerds a
Yeah.
bone."
Fine. We'll have Kingpin.
Oh, God
throw,
forbid you give people what they want, right?
We'll have Kingpin throw away his Hawaiian shirt. Okay, we get it.
Yeah.
But that's not even the most important thing. The most important thing is Philip Silvera, who served as the stunt and fight coordinator of the Netflix Daredevil series, is now returning
Yes.
for
Nice.
Born Again.
I wonder if he did Echo, because Echo, we were saying like that fight scene with Daredevil and all those other guys, it felt like a Daredevil fight scene. Also, they're making a live action Minecraft movie starring Jack Black and Jason Momoa.
What?
Why?
That's an interesting pairing.
Jennifer Coolidge was also recently cast. and
Minecraft.
Jack Black is going to be Steve, like the main character.
whole
But it's
thing-
live action.
The whole thing is it's pixelated. Like that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Director Jared Hess says he wants to avoid an ugly Sonic situation. If you remember that when they first showed Sonic, he was like, well, that's not Sonic.
God, Jesus.
And he said, I just can't disappoint the 10-year-olds or they're going to murder us. Well, my son is still 10 as of today, and he will if you fuck this up.
If he shows up and it's not pixelated characters, you've fucked it up.
I just don't know how you're going to...
Is it a cartoon?
It says live action.
Hey, well, it should be an easy.
I'll ask again. Is it a cartoon?
It should be an easy movie to create, since it's all like blocks.
But is it animated?
I don't know.
How the fuck?
I mean, that's where Sonic fucked up, because they're like, hey, what if Sonic was in the United States? It's like, well, that's not what Sonic is. Like, Detective Pikachu nailed it, and Super Mario Brothers nailed it.
Yes.
Like, just do that. So I don't really care about Minecraft. I know my son will be excited to see it, but
Yeah.
yeah. Josh mentioned Giancarlo Esposito. I don't know.
Get his name right. Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito told Variety that there should be a Gustavo Fring spinoff. He said, I have a lot of premises I'd like to push. If I were talking to Vince Gilligan right now, I would tell him The Rise of Gus.
You know, seeing that
Hit a
character,
button, Andrew, please.
Yeah,
that's a button
bust
worthy.
a nut, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Seeing that character turn into who he became, sure. You
Yeah.
can only do a certain number of prequels to a series, I think. Though.
I think so too, because
they've told a lot of his
he
story,
had
right?
his prequel in
Yeah.
a way, you know? Plus, like, if it's going to be him in Chile or Mexico, like, well, Giancarlo Esposito's like 70 now.
Right.
Like, how is he going to, you know, I guess you could de-age people fine, but like, I guess that's what you'd have to do, but I just don't know.
Listen, for other shows, I think it's bad to go off on all these tangents with like, you know, different series and stuff like that. But the Breaking Bad universe is always the one where I felt like you could have 15 of them. I don't think I'd ever get tired of them.
Both, I mean, those are like my two favorite shows ever.
Exactly,
pretty much,
right?
You know?
I mean, there's so many characters in that
yeah.
show that you want to see more of.
It seems unlikely. Vince Gilligan said before, he's like, look, I'm done. You know, I'll never say never, but I'm done. And he's currently working on a new sci-fi series with Ray Seahorn, who plays Kim Wexler in Better Call Saul. And we're still waiting for that to come out. Also, Better Call Saul set a new record for most Emmy nominations without a single win.
I was going to send that to you after
Yikes.
the Emmys aired.
53 Emmy nominations since the show debuted in 2015, not one win. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Bullshit!
I mean, come on.
So this goes out to all the Emmy voters out there. Go fuck yourself.
There you go. Yes.
Look, I mean, there's only one, you know, person can win or one series can win every year. So I get it's very competitive, but Bob Odenkirk's work on that show is just, I mean, he didn't even win anything for Breaking Bad, did he? Did he
don't
ever
think
win
so.
for like best supporting or
I don't
anything?
think so. Because he was, you know, he really wasn't in it that
The final,
much.
the final season,
Final
he could have
season he
won.
was, yeah.
I'm with you, Joe, that there can only be like one winner per category and stuff like that. But going 53-0 seems like a big.
Oh, and
middle-
53.
Right. Oh, and 53. Excuse me. Seems like a big middle finger.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, that last season, that last episode, my God.
He was nominated,
A couple times.
a couple
For Saul.
times. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, there you go.
Also, Tatiana Maslany told The Direct that a season 2 of She-Hulk is unlikely.
Yeah.
That was in our worst shows of 2022. She says, I think we blew our budget and Disney was like, no thanks. Yeah, that was the problem. It wasn't because the show was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you had Daredevil starting to date her, and thankfully that's over with.
Is it?
That's no longer canon. Nope.
That's been retconned.
Yeah, but aren't they
so.
going to bring her into the MCU?
Fuck no. I don't think so.
If it with the correct or the right writing, I think maybe that she could be a fun character.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see.
Yeah.
They've got to know that that was a train wreck and everybody hated it, right?
They know.
Yes, I love
Deep
that
down
actress
they know.
too. It just sucks.
I don't know. You've got so many Hulk movies coming up in the future. I'm with Joe. I think we're eventually going to see her.
No, that ending. Hey, this is my son.
Write
Hey,
it
guys.
correctly.
Hey guys, this is my son.
Or who are you? Exactly.
Jesus. All right. Also, what? Which one? What?
No, it's like, how old is your son, Bruce? Oh, that's
You've been gone
he's
for
not a
22
baby?
fucking years.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Also, Alec Baldwin is headed to trial over the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins, who was killed in 2021 after the actor's prop gun fired a live round of ammunition on the Rust film set.
I saw that, but I thought he was released of all charges. I guess they were still
Yeah,
cooking
they
it
said
up.
he was charged again. I don't know.
I can't believe this is still going on. I feel like this has been going on since we started the fucking podcast.
It was, yeah.
How is involuntary murder only up to 18 months in prison?
Involuntary. One count
his
of
name is
involuntary
Alec Baldwin.
manslaughter. Faces up to 18 months in prison. I mean, it's just such a weird thing because it's not his fault, really.
But there's one rule of gun
Don't
safety
point
on
it
set.
at a
You
person.
don't point any gun, real or fake.
Right.
Go with this in life, gentlemen, at anybody
Right.
ever, unless you want to kill them. And that you
I
just
get
don't.
it.
You just don't.
But also, like, well, how do you shoot? Okay, how do you shoot scenes where the guy's firing a gun like right into the camera? Someone's got to be there. Or
To a
this like
camera? No, no one has to be there. You can
Well,
put it
no,
on
all
the
if
tripod.
you're doing
CGI
okay,
now.
but if you're doing a quick zoom, like in a lot of westerns,
Yeah.
unless it's remote, I don't know, but it's
Yeah.
interesting.
It is interesting, yeah.
I know, like the person that handles the props, like, is going through a trial as well right now, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But,
a lot
yeah.
of people on the set were literally like protesting how the gun safety was
Yeah.
not handled correctly on this
Right
movie.
beforehand.
Literally, and then that happened. So it's scary. Scary
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, a live round got in there somehow.
What's crazy is like
Right.
this movie's still gonna come out at some point. Like it's on hold right now because of this, but
I don't know.
that's fucking weird.
Yeah, maybe.
So 18 months after he gets out of prison, then
Yeah.
you finish the movie?
Oh please,
gotcha.
This trial.
Alec, why are you here today? I'm going to promote this amazing movie called
Right.
Rust.
Anyone else have anything?
I had something interesting. So we all know Mickey Mouse has entered the public domain now with the
Yes.
copyright
Yeah.
lagging. Comicbook.com shared a few others that are going to be lagging sometime soon. DC characters Superman and Lois will enter public domain in 2034.
Oh, well, we'll look forward to
And
that.
Batman will follow in 2035, Joker 2036, and then Wonder Woman in 2037.
Interesting.
So pretty interesting what those characters might be doing in a couple years.
Well, like a decade, but yeah.
But you never know.
How does that work? How could they not keep it after? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know if anybody could have kept it. It would have been Disney with Mickey Mouse, but
Yeah.
I think
I don't know. It's a
Maybe
good
all
question.
copyrights just cease to exist after 100 years. Maybe I'm not sure.
I guess.
I don't know.
But it's only the original drawing of Mickey. It's not like the current. They can't.
Yes, Steamboat Willie or whatever.
It's like the original Mickey that smokes cigarettes and
Yeah.
fucks hookers.
Right.
You know
Well,
that
now
one.
he does. Now he does for sure. Yes.
All right. Anything else?
That's all I had.
Yeah, I just had a couple quick things. The release date for part 2 of Invincible Season 2 drops next week.
The release date
The
has a release date.
Yes, it
Isn't that
does.
interesting?
Shut up. Invincible's great. Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Also, on a similar note, Stephen Yeun on the possibility of starring in a live-action Invincible movie. Well, I'm 40 right now. We're having a lot of fun making the show live action. Who knows? Question
Yeah,
mark?
he's playing an 18-year-old.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Sebastian Stan says Thunderbolts begins filming in about a month.
Oh, it hasn't even filmed yet. Interesting.
Looking forward to that. And also, Eben Moss Backrack on if he will star as the Thing in Fantastic Four. Can't confirm, can't deny. We'll see.
Yeah, he was the rumor.
He was the guy that played Micro in season 1 of The Punisher,
Right,
And
yeah.
and a lot of other things. So we'll see. Are they going to get it right finally with the Fantastic Four?
Who knows?
Is there any chance?
Who knows?
Like they finally have the property under their roof now.
right.
They've got to get it right now.
Okay.
You would
I
think.
think teasing us with John Krasinski and then not casting him is a huge
so
mistake.
weird.
He's so perfectly that character.
Yeah.
Very weird.
He's already here's your long and gangly. Yeah, they have that going.
I am very interested because, Pedro Pascal has been kind of mentioned in that type of universe. So
Right. Yeah. He would be good too.
I just
Great
don't know
actor.
what child he would be protecting, but I guess we'll figure that out. Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. X-Men Days of Future Past. We start off with a cool intro with a Patrick Stewart voiceover. We see the mutants are enslaved by the Sentinels, and you see some familiar faces in that first scene, right?
Yep.
And one mutant's looking for something, and the Sentinel's about to blow his fucking head off. And then we go into the credits with Patrick Stewart. Is the future truly set? And then we see Bishop, Iceman, Colossus, Kitty Pryde, and some other mutants that I never really learned their names because they're not important.
Johnny Storm.
No.
No.
was that even pyro? Like, was that supposed to be pyro, or was it pyro?
I don't think that's
No,
Pyro.
what's the It's pyro, right?
I think
Pyro's
it's
the guy that, but he needs fire to manipulate it. He can't just turn into fire. At
I
least
thought maybe he upgraded.
I think it's Johnny
powers.
Storm. They just couldn't call him that because they don't have the rights.
I mean, I guess it's just
Stanley,
some-
do we really need two of these guys?
Look in the credits. I want to know what they called him in the credits. If his name was just like Jim or something.
Pete 2.
Burning Man.
I'm not even sure where he would be in here because of like there's so many actors in this. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, but I'll keep. Oh, Sunspot, right?
Oh, Sunspot. Interesting.
Yes. He was supposed to be Johnny Storm.
Oh, he's the guy that he just died. That actor just died. Adam
Really?
Canto. Yeah.
Yeah. Holy
He
crap!
just-
Like
he
this
just-
month.
No, he just died like last week.
R.I.P.
Wow.
Damn.
I don't know what of, but yeah, I just heard he died.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, we just saw he was destroyed by
Oh,
Sentinel.
cancer. Jeez.
Too soon? That's too soon.
42. That sucks.
Too soon, Josh.
That was way too soon.
Yeah, so the Sentinels start brutally killing everyone. So Kitty sends Bishop back in time to warn them, and one of the Sentinels is about to kill Kitty, but she says, "Too late, assholes," and they disappear. But it's funny, you get to see Iceman like die multiple times in this movie.
Seriously.
You know,
Yeah.
And by the way, we're seeing Bishop and just wishing it was Idris Elba instead.
I mean, you know,
Well, can't play everything.
isn't that too similar to his Marvel character? But yeah, so then we see Professor X. He has like an improved, like upgraded version of Cerebro, and he's like, I found them. So him, Magneto, Wolverine, and Storm go to them, and Charles tells them about Trask, played by Peter Dinklage, which is funny because when we talk about the continuity of X-Men, the franchise is probably the worst. Like, because in X2, there was a scene where Trask was like on television. It was this big black guy.
Yeah.
And here, Trask is Peter Dinklage.
Right. Different universe?
No.
No. Oh.
No, not at all.
Damn.
He's explains that Trask created the Sentinels and Mystique killed him, but then they captured her, they tortured her, they experimented on her to create the Sentinels that can adapt to any power, which to me sounds more like Rogue, but whatever. Mystique's the main character, pretty
Right.
much. So,
Right.
so Charles says he wants to go back in time to stop Mystique. But Kitty tells him that his mind would be ripped apart going back that far. She says, I send Bishop back maybe a week at the most. And then Logan says, what if someone's mind has a way of snapping back?
And you're
So
like, oh, right. He's the biggest star here.
yeah.
He's
Oh, right.
coming
It's
back.
Hugh Jackman, of
Right.
course. Yeah.
Right.
And Magneto's like, you'll have to get me too. And it's funny because, like, obviously they're going to get Magneto. But when you think about it, it's like, he did way more harm than good. And when it came down to it, was this just old Magneto's way of being like, I'm getting myself out of jail, all right?
Maybe.
You
But
know,
he clearly
you
gets
know-
out
He
of
always
jail,
has
right?
his own agenda.
Yeah, he always does.
That's 100% right because did they really need him?
No.
No, they didn't at
He did
all.
far more harm than good.
Yeah, if anything, you thought you were going to get oh shit, Magneto teaming up with them. This is going to be great. He immediately turns heel in this
He
movie.
betrays them. Of course he does. That's his job.
Yeah.
So Kitty sends Logan back in time. I don't know if we should do the road cut now or later, but like, people want us to do the road cut. I really don't like the road cut better. I feel like the extra scenes, especially with them, like saving Rogue and everything, was unnecessary. But like in the road cut, at this point in the movie, Wolverine and Storm are a couple,
Right.
And before he goes under, like they kiss a little bit, and she's, it's unnecessary, I think, because at the end of the, you know what I mean? Like where the film leads to, it's like, well, that's not a thing anymore. So it just feels like it was a good call they didn't do that.
Correct.
Did I miss something? Wolverine and Storm?
In
In
the
the
road
road
cut.
cut.
We didn't watch the road cut.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
my brain was frying.
They have a
Okay.
little love story. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I'm assuming Wolverine fucks everyone in the
Yeah.
comics. Yeah. So that's fine.
Professor X,
Yeah.
Magneto. So Kitty sends Logan back in time, and he wakes up in a waterbed with a woman next to him, and it's in the 1970s.
Yeah.
And right away, he gets up, and we have the Hugh Jackman ass shot.
Yeah. Wolverine, but Bare ass.
Bare ass.
No hair.
Hairless.
Hairless and so veiny. So veiny.
Well,
His
that's what
penis?
happens when
Yeah.
you're jacked.
Yeah. The script called for Logan to wake up in boxer shorts, but Hugh Jackman vetoed this, according to IMDb, in favor of waking up nude, saying, "In Australia, if you're next to a really good-looking girl, you're not gonna get out with boxer shorts on."
Jesus. Well, guess what? In this movie, you're not Australian.
That's right.
Hey, America, here's my ass.
Yeah, really. So yeah, some guys bust in and they're like, "Hey, you're supposed to be guarding the boss's daughter, not sleeping with her."
Stuck in her.
And Logan's like, "I didn't sleep with her. I mean, yeah, I slept with her many times, but that wasn't me. That was the old me. I just got here."
It's weird for him to think, "Oh wait, I'm going to tell these guys about time travel right now."
Right? Yeah.
What?
And yeah, he's like, Would you believe me if I said I was from the future?" And of course they don't. And he's like, "You're going to give me the keys to your car and money for gas. Trust me, I've seen how these things play out." "Oh, because you're from the future?" He's like, "No, because of these." And he shows him his claws, but then he's surprised because he just has his natural claws at this point,
Right.
not the metal claws. So they shoot him, but he's fucking Wolverine. So he stabs them all and he gets their car keys. And he remembers what Kitty told him. He's like, "Peaceful thoughts." But like already 30 seconds, in the 70s, and he's already killed a few guys.
Is he supposed to remember his life then? And I'm only asking that, and like again, time travel movies, you shouldn't ask these questions. But when he's shot after he's made into the metal Wolverine, he apparently loses his memories from before that moment.
Right.
So he shouldn't remember any of this.
But doesn't Charles help him unlock his memories and get
it
all
all
that back?
Okay,
I think so.
maybe.
Meanwhile, Trask speaks to the government about his Sentinel program, but they turn him down. And this is where we learn his disdain for mutants. He's like, he says, if you ignore this, you will have lost 2 wars in one lifetime.
Ouch, baby.
And they're like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Like, they're not that bad, these mutants. Yeah. And then we have Mystique infiltrating a military base
So cool.
to save the mutant soldiers who were under the orders of a young William Stryker. And Mystique was disguised as a military officer.
She was a colonel,
Colonel.
and the badge said Sanders.
Colonel
Sanders.
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
Okay.
you know-
Why? I mean,
For fun, for sure.
For fun.
But you know what? I realized that these mutants had very boys-like powers. The boys.
oh, sure.
Yes.
Like a
One of them
crazy
could
tongue.
just make you throw up.
Right.
You have Toad there, who is not like anything like Toad in the first X-Men movie.
No.
Not at all.
If anything, the Toad in the first movie was better.
Yeah.
He could flip around, jump
He
around.
was Darth Maul.
Darth Maul, Ray
And
Park.
they even did a scene where he was Darth Maul
Yes.
in that first X-Men movie.
This guy's power is he just looks at you and you throw up. That's not even a power.
That's right. That's right. And you know what happens to toads when electricity hits them and lightning?
No, tell us, please.
The same thing that happens to everything else.
Oh. That's like up there for worst line in movie history.
Movie history.
Like, just who thought
The way
that
she
was
has to
good?
explain it, the same thing that happens to everything else. What?
That had to have been like a line where they're like, "Yeah, we'll change it later," and then they forgot, and they were like,
I forgot to change it.
"All right, let's just go with it, I guess." So yeah, Stryker asks, Colonel Sanders, who are you? And Mystique says, "The real question is, who are you?" And she looks at his dog tags, says Stryker. She rips him off. She reveals herself and starts kicking ass along with the other mutants. Then Mystique starts choking Stryker to death, but Havoc's there, and he's like, "Hey, Raven." She's like, "That's not my name." And then he stops her by blasting Stryker instead.
Yeah.
Which, thank God.
And just another fun little oh shit, there's
Wolverine.
Havoc.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it's like, I thought his energy blast would kill someone.
Yeah, he didn't
Because
need-
in First Class, he just decapitates that statue or
Right.
cuts that statue
He's
in half.
learned how to control it.
Yeah, and he didn't have
All
his suit or whatever either. Like,
Yeah, the suit helps him control
I will
it.
teach you to control this, Alex. Like in First Class.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mystique gets him on a plane home, but she stays in Vietnam. And in First Class, like she had way more Mystique shit on her face.
Yeah.
In this one, they made her like way hotter as Mystique.
Yep.
And, I appreciated that. I mean, she was really very sexy in this movie.
I have a little fun fact about that. So Jennifer Lawrence had worn full body prosthetics for the first movie, First Class, consisting of appliances that were glued to her body. However, not only were those uncomfortable, she also became unwell from inhaling particles coming from these. And the makeup department couldn't guarantee that they weren't bad for your health.
Oh, my God.
So for the sequel, she would only return if they found a way around this, and they made her a bodysuit. So she just put a suit on.
Okay.
Which is way safer. And
It's
easier.
funny because if you like in Apocalypse, it's even less makeup. And then in, Dark Phoenix, which is terrible, like she's barely in anything. It's just like some blue makeup.
Well, as her
and that's
star
it.
is rising, we need to see her more.
Exactly. Well, it's like Robert Downey Jr. in the first couple Iron Mans. He actually had to wear this heavy suit, and then finally for Infinity War, he's like, I'm just CGI everything.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just give me a CGI suit.
I'm too big for this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Logan goes to Xavier's house, but Hank McCoy answers, and he says the school's been closed for a while. He asks, "Are you a father?" And Logan's like, "Oh, I certainly hope not." It's a funny line.
Yeah.
And then Logan forces his way in, and he's like, "You're pretty strong for a scrawny kid. You sure there's no beast in there?" And he's like, No. And then Logan forces his way in. He's like, "Look, man, you and I are going to be good friends. You just don't know it yet." And he punches him. And then Hank turns into Beast. And also his Beast makeup looks way better than it did in First Class.
So much
We
better.
talked about it last week, how he just looked like a puppet that talked.
It was so weird, the
Just
First Class
looked
version.
like a mangy, like little animal.
Yeah.
Like a puppy, like in a show.
And then,
You
like
know what
in
I mean?
this one,
Like
he
in a
looks,
puppy show.
In this one, it's way better. Like, it's really good. So
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Logan and Beast have a little fight that's broken up by James McAvee as young Charles. And Logan tells Charles that he's like, "Well, no, you sent me from the future to stop Raven." Of course, he doesn't believe him. And Logan tells him, "If you had your powers, you would believe me." And Charles thinks that, Logan's a spy or whatever. And Logan does his best to try to convince him. He's like, "We have to get Eric too." And Charles says, "You know where he is, right? He's where he belongs."
Yeah.
And Charles starts to walk away, but Logan says, "The professor I knew wouldn't walk away, especially from someone he loves." And then Charles says, "I do remember you. We came to you a long time ago asking for your help. And I'm going to say the same thing to you that you said to us. Fuck off."
He said, "Go fuck yourself." A
He
little
did.
different,
A little different.
but
It was 10
same
years.
meaning.
10 years ago.
Same meaning.
Same meaning.
Amazing.
That's their one fuck, right? For the
Amazing
movie.
payoff from
Yeah.
just a little cameo.
Great callback.
Yeah, great callback.
So then Charles goes upstairs to do heroin. And it's basically.
It did seem like he was kind of a crack addict.
Absolutely.
Yes, he was fiending.
Hank explains that he created a serum that allows him to walk, but it sacrifices his powers. And Charles thinks about the first time he met Raven, and he decides to help. It's funny in that scene, they add an extra line of dialogue in that flashback that's not in First Class. Because he goes, you don't have to steal. In fact, you never have to steal again. And then they added, and that's a promise. That's a promise was not in First Class. So they added those 3 lines.
Now that I'm thinking about these movies together as a whole, had Charles just fucked Mystique in the first movie and then they lived happily ever after, none of this would have happened. But he couldn't stand the sight of her.
Well, they were brother and sister. I mean,
They weren't real brother and sister. I'm just saying she could have looked like anything. I'm just saying.
Okay, Josh.
It's nice to learn what.
So that should have been the movie. Xavier's like, "If I can go back in time and fuck her when we're in college."
What are you doing, step professor?
Yeah.
We know Josh's favorite porn genre.
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
need
well,
to go-
everyone's honestly.
I just need to go back and give her the D. And that
Right?
will change everything.
Right? Exactly.
Professor D. I should have called him.
So Charles and Hank explain that Eric is being held under the Pentagon for killing JFK. And Charles says, "How else would you explain a bullet curving in the air?" It's like, oh, that's so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, how would you explain a bullet curving in the air?" I don't know. You seen that Wanted movie
Yeah.
that you're in?
That you're in. Love that movie.
Curving bullets in that movie.
Underrated.
That ending is just wild.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
It's good.
Mystique then disguises herself as Trask to get into his office. She finds files on the Sentinels, and if you're wondering, where are all the mutants from First Class?
Oh man,
They're dead.
sad.
Azazel, he's dead. Angel, she's dead too.
Goodbye.
Banshee, dead.
See ya.
They're all dead.
Yeah.
And she's crying, and the Trask's secretary walks in, and she changes back to Trask, but like the secretary still sees her crying a little bit, and he's like, no, it's all right. Then Logan, Charles, and Hank knock on Quicksilver's house. Well, we can't call him Quicksilver.
No,
It's not allowed. And his mom answers, and she's like, what did he do now? I'll just pay you for what he stole.
Yeah.
So they go to the basement where Peter is just running around, and Hank's like, you're not afraid to show your powers? And he's like, what powers? You see something strange here? Nothing that anyone would believe if you told them, right? That's a great line.
Yeah.
Charles then tells him, he's like, you kleptomaniac, you get to help break into the Pentagon. And Peter's like, how can I trust you? And then Logan shows him his claws coming out of his hand.
It's still bones ripping
Still
through
bones.
skin.
And he's like, it's cool, it's just disgusting.
Yeah.
And this was one of my favorite characters in the movie. It was
Oh my
for
God.
sure.
Come on.
He was great.
The best scene in the movie
fucking loved
coming
it.
up.
Yeah. Water's wet. Good job, Josh.
So they go to they go on a tour of the Pentagon, and Hank hacks into their security cameras. Peter quickly gets in the elevator with a guard. He duct tapes the guy to the wall and steals his clothes. And then Peter slides Eric's food to him with a note that says, mind the glass. And he breaks the glass by quickly moving his hands and helps Eric get out. And Eric's like, in 3 seconds, those doors will open and there will be guards to shoot us. And he's like, I know. That's what we're waiting for. He's like, what are you doing? Holding your head so you won't get whiplash. Huh? Whiplash.
Yeah.
And so, he quickly runs past the guards, which sends them like into the air. And they get in the elevator, and Peter's like, what'd you do? Why'd they have you in there?
Hey, man, what'd you do? What'd you do?
And he's like, for killing the president. And he's like, oh, shit. Yeah.
And he looks at the guard on the wall. He's like, ew.
Yeah. And then he says, Peter says, they say you control metal. My mom once knew a guy who could do that.
Oh my God.
And then he was like, oh shit, I owe so much alimony.
Fuck my mom.
That's why he was in jail, really. He just owed alimony. Meanwhile, some guards question Charles and Logan, and Charles tries to talk his way out of it, but he sucks without his powers. So Logan just knocks them out.
He doesn't suck without his powers.
Oh, he does.
He sucks without his juice. Sucks without the juice.
The juice?
Yeah.
What does that
The
mean?
serum.
The heroin.
He's on the heroin.
Kind of on it right now.
It looks like he needs some more. He's fiending.
He needs his powers, Josh. That's what he needs. So he says, I'm sorry, I'm just not good with violence. But then the elevator opens, and he sees Eric, and he punches him in the face. He's just like, Charles. Punch. And then more guards show up, and Eric's like, freeze him, Charles. And he's like, I can't. So Eric starts to like shake the room with the metal. The guards fire their non-metal bullets from their non-metal guns. And then we have the best scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, before this, we never saw anything like this before.
Right.
In a movie. Like, they nailed how to do a really fast scene. You just do it in slow motion. And it's awesome.
This scene was shot in a special format of 3,600 frames per second. So basically moved 150 times faster than normal.
And I think it took like a month to film or something.
sure.
Like, just this scene.
Yeah.
Took
The
a
camera
while.
was used to record close-ups and movements of Evan Peters, as well as the guards. So, yeah, interesting.
And this is the best I think a speedster has ever looked
Absolutely.
in a movie.
Come on.
Oh
and
my
The
God.
Flash was what, maybe a decade after this movie, right?
It was.
Yeah,
About.
and they fucking failed.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And they probably spent 3 times the amount of money on it.
And half the time because they were just rushing through.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
But yeah, it's just so great. Peter's smiling as he's running around the room, beating up the guards, making them punch themselves,
He's
giving
licking
them
the
wedgies.
pot of gravy.
Yeah, yeah.
He's taking hats off the FBI guys or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Poking
And then-
guys in the face.
And then he just like moves the bullets so that it doesn't hit their face,
Right.
Oh, it's so good. And, they should have let Peter come with them after that because I think he would have been very helpful. Wouldn't have been this difficult.
You think?
It's like, hey, Peter, grab Raven. Yep, already did it. Oh, okay, cool. So movie's over. All right.
Movie's over.
Right.
Hey, Peter, stop Magneto. Yep, I got him in a bear hug. Okay, cool.
Can you grab his hat? This hat? Yep.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, seriously. So they get on Hank's plane, and Charles grabs Eric. He's like, you took her away, you abandoned me. And Eric uses his powers to like fuck with the plane, and he tells Charles, he's like, Banshee, Azazel, Angel, our mutant brothers all dead. Where were you, Charles? Where were you when your own people needed you? Hiding, you and Hank, pretending to be something you're not. You abandoned us all.
Yeah.
And then Eric lets the plane go back to normal. And Logan's like, so you were always an asshole.
Yeah.
And Magneto's like, I bet we're best buds in the future. And Logan's like, I spent a lot of years trying to bring you down, bub. How'd that work out for you? He says, you're like me. You're a survivor.
That's a great line, too.
a good line.
Because they both are.
Yeah.
Literally, like, they just survive through everything.
But it was really.
And the callback later.
I really enjoyed like the little monologue from Michael Fassbender. It was good. So much passion.
Oh, yeah.
So much passion. It was great. Of
course.
Meanwhile, Raven seduces some Vietnamese general to get his invitation to a meeting with Trask, and this guy just wants to fuck her right away.
Yeah.
Show me more, baby. Clothes off.
Hey, he knows the good English words.
Yeah. And then Raven shows.
She did exactly what he said.
Yeah.
She shows her natural form, and he's disgusted. And she's like, "What's the matter, baby? You don't like me better like this?"
Yeah.
It's like, well, who wouldn't?
Right.
I mean, Jennifer Lawrence is normal, but like, come on, everyone would be into that.
So Jennifer
whatever.
If
Lawrence.
someone showed up tomorrow and they looked like that, everyone would want to fuck her.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence
science.
just wants someone to fuck her. That's all. If she gets someone to fuck her and say that she's beautiful, maybe this is all over.
Maybe.
If the Vietnamese general was like, I'm into it. Let's do it, baby.
Yeah.
Eric fucked her.
World is over.
Yeah.
Eric fucked her.
Yeah, but he wasn't a human, I guess. I don't know.
Azazel fucked her too.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Nightcrawler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
not in this canon.
Right.
There's an outtake in this movie. No, I'm sorry. There's an outtake in X-Men Apocalypse where she's talking to Hank, and Jennifer Lawrence just goes like, this is Nightcrawler. It's my son with Azazel. And then he goes, and then Hank goes, oh, you fucked Azazel too? Great. And he walks away. It's so good.
What is that from?
It's an outtake in
nice.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's so good. She beats the guy up. She starts choking the guy with her foot, but only until he falls asleep. And then they make a point to show him snoring. Just so it's like, okay, confirmed. She didn't kill him.
Heavy sleeper.
Yeah, he needs one of those masks. Back on the plane, Eric tells Charles, he's like, I didn't kill, JFK. Charles says, the bullet curved. But Eric says, I was trying to save him. He was one of us.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
JFK was a mutant? That's
Nice.
pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
What was his power?
Charm.
Charm.
Yeah.
Extra charm.
Yeah. Lots of charm. Marilyn Monroe.
extra.
Come on.
Yeah.
He was extra Catholic.
Yeah. Extra.
Or no, it's
Super
like
Catholic.
12-inch dick. That was his power. Huge
Keeps
cock.
growing. How much more do you want? All of it.
Every lie, it grows bigger.
Can make everyone on Earth named Marilyn fuck me.
Yeah. Right.
So they argue over Raven again. That's where Eric is like, he's like, we were. Oh, Charles. Oh, if only you knew, Charles. Oh, you're reading my mind, Charles. You can see. You can see what we did.
Charles is like under like the blanket. He's like, I am reading your mind. It is fantastic.
They start to play a game of chess like always.
You like her? Her.
So then Trask meets with the Vietnamese generals and congratulates them for winning the war. He tells them about the mutants and he wants them to fund his Sentinel program. He turns on his device that could sense any mutant in the room and it goes off on the general that Mystique knocked out. And Mystique reveals herself and starts kicking ass again. I love how she slides under the table and trips
So
Stryker.
cool. Yeah.
And then she was about to shoot Trask when Charles and company walk in. Stryker starts tasing Raven, but Eric walks in and just immediately puts that shit on Stryker, which is so good. And then Logan sees Stryker and he starts tripping out because he's seeing old Stryker from X2.
Right. Yep.
And then we go back in the future. His claws come out and he's just like swinging around. He accidentally stabs Kitty.
Yep.
But then Magneto forces his claws down. And then Eric force grabs the gun to shoot Raven so that they can't get her DNA, even though her blood would be spilt all over that table.
Right.
Hank tackles Eric, And he drops the gun, but Eric forces the gun to go off. That's another really cool slow motion shot.
It was, and he got the bullet to track her as well.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Mystique jumps out the window, but Eric curves the bullet to strike her in the leg. And then Eric goes outside, and he doesn't know which one she is, but she sees this woman limping, so he just starts pulling her with the bullet.
Yeah.
And then she changes back into Mystique, pulls the bullet out of her leg. He's about to kill her, but Beast jumps on him.
And this is, again, kind of like, you remember we talked about, like, why don't Jedi with their lightsabers just kind of swish it back and forth? Like,
Yeah.
why doesn't, if Magneto has this bullet, instead of just curving it, just go and just put 17 holes in the person?
He was hesitating in that scene. For sure. You know, he loves her.
He
and he was thinking
loved
about it
her.
like, can I really
right.
fucking do this and kill her?
That's right.
And ultimately, I guess not, or, Beast stopped him. But Eric then traps Beast in some metal, and he looks for Raven, but she turned into an old man in a really cool shot as people are like walking in front of the camera.
That old man, the cinematographer.
Right, nice, yeah. And the public was taking photos and videos of everything, and Beast is just like hanging there, all exposed, and he finally gets away. Then we meet President Nixon with his dogs and his recorder that he turns off. He's like off the record. They turn it off.
Yeah.
And he asks his team, about what happened, and Trask explains the situation. He tells them about mutants, and he's like, my Sentinels can take care of all of this. So Nixon agrees to fund it. And then Trask sees a video of Mystique, and he's like, I would like her for research purposes, of course. Yeah.
He said, of course, very quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Absolutely.
He wants to do some sinister things to her.
Oh, yeah. Then we see a little cool shot of Eric giving himself stitches in the back of his head while he's watching this video he stole, learning about the Sentinel program. That was cool.
Yeah.
Then Raven pushes Eric into a phone booth and holds up something to his neck. And Eric explains everything about the future and the Sentinels. And he tells Raven, we have to strike now. Are you still Charles's Raven, or are you Mystique? And Raven just says, I just want Trask. That's it. And Eric says, killing one man isn't enough. And she says, it never was for you.
Oh.
Damn.
And then she walks out of the phone booth, and Eric loses her. But yeah, I like that line. It was good.
So it kind of makes you wonder. So they've already parted ways when this movie starts. It makes you wonder what exactly happened to make her leave him.
Well, he went to jail.
Well, sure, but why didn't she just immediately jump back on his side?
Oh. That's a good point, I guess. Back at the house, Charles falls down and starts to hear the voices in his head. They comfort him. They understand. They talk to him. The drugs are starting to wear off, so Hank gets the needle, but Logan tells Charles, we need your powers. We can't find Raven without you. And Charles thinks about it, but eventually he puts the needle down, and that's the fastest anyone's ever gotten off of drugs, I think.
Detox so quickly.
And they take his old wheelchair out of the closet, and Charles tries to use Cerebro for the first time in years, but all he finds are people suffering and crying and dying, and it's horrible, so he takes his helmet off, and Logan's like, you're just rusty, and Charles is like, no, my power doesn't come from here, it comes from pointing to his heart. And he's like, and it's broken.
He has the power of love.
I feel like one of my students. I'm sorry, Logan, but they sent back the wrong man. Logan's like, yeah, you're right. It was actually supposed to be you.
Right.
But I was the only one who could physically make the trip.
You're too big of a pussy,
Yeah.
Charles.
You're too old. And Logan tells Charles that he was once his most helpless student, but he saved him. And Logan tells Charles to look into his mind, and Charles sees nothing but tragedy, including Logan killing Jean Grey in X-Men 3, and Logan's like, look further, and Charles is like, no, I don't want to watch these awful movies! Please, don't make me watch them! I don't want your suffering, I don't want your future!
Your movies.
I don't want your last stand.
I don't want Last Stand.
So then Charles finds his old self in the future, and we have young Charles talking with old Charles, and he's like, so this is what becomes of us. Eric was right, but old Charles says, not if we show them a better path. Just because someone stumbles, loses their way, doesn't mean they're lost forever. And young Charles tells him, he's like, I can't deal with all of their pain. And old Charles says it's not their pain you're afraid of, it's yours. You got to use their pain to make you stronger. And then he also tells Charles, we need you to hope again. And then he shows him like the future of the school and everything.
Right. Yeah.
So that was really
It
cool.
was a really neat scene.
It was an awesome scene. I remember the trailer when they showed that just shot of them face to face, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait for that. And it was not, it didn't let down for sure. Next up, Eric finds a train where they're shipping the Sentinels, and he puts metal in them.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Smart, evil, bad guy, man.
And then Eric breaks into some building, and he knocks out some guards with some metal balls.
Yep.
He's just got some balls.
He's just like twirling them around his
Playing
hand.
with his balls.
It's kind of weird, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And then he reaches his hand out to get his old helmet back, and that's another really cool slow motion shot.
Yeah.
So wait, at this point in the movie, they all knew that the Sentinels were just made of some kind of non-metal polymer?
Yeah.
Because like Trask knew that, but this was just common knowledge they all knew?
Yeah, maybe not.
Well, no. Well, remember, Magneto got the file. He had that video. He found. He
yeah.
got that film reel.
Right,
And then he
right,
watched it and he learned about it.
But
Yeah.
also him getting his helmet back was kind of a sad scene too, because you saw like the wings also,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, they ripped him off.
It was also Havoc. Yeah, Havoc's suit.
Havoc. Yeah, he was probably dead. I don't
It was
know,
cool. I
whatever.
like that they did some callbacks to
That's
First Class. It
callbacks,
was
yeah.
cool.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Kitty is bleeding out despite Iceman like freezing her blood. I don't know. Like, what is he?
Cooled it closed.
Did he?
I
She
don't
was
know.
still bleeding.
Not doing well.
Not a good job, Iceman.
This ice guy, I don't know about him.
And this is where in the road cut they go get Rogue, and then she takes over for Kitty. But yeah, no, not here.
Right.
So then Charles uses Cerebro to talk to Raven by using other people in the airport. And Charles tells Raven, not to kill Trask, come home. And finally, Raven sees Charles standing in front of her, but she still won't listen. He's like, you have to come home. And she's like, I have to. Like, still acting like a rebellious teenager.
Oh.
Even though she's not
No
one anymore.
stepbrother.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's so weird.
He
their
pops up and
relationship.
she's like, what are you doing, step brother? Step bro? Step Charles?
get out of the shower, Charles.
What are you doing, step
Josh has seen too many. Oh my
step
god.
professor?
Why? You're taking too long and I have to shower too.
Yeah, it's a big house, Raven. Charles finds out she's heading to Washington, D.C., and then Hank shows him like a news clip saying like, there's Nixon's going to be there, Trask's going to be there to reveal the Sentinels or whatever. And Hass asks them like, what if this war is just inevitable? What if this is who she is?
Maybe.
And then Charles repeats what old Charles told him, just because someone stumbles and loses their way doesn't mean they're lost forever. Forever. He's learned. So on the way to DC, Logan tells Charles, you've seen the future. Promise me you'll find all of us. Storm, Scott, Jean, remember those names. We need you. Logan's like, I'll do my best. And Charles says, I'll do my best. And Logan's like, your best is enough. Yeah. So they go to the big event in DC, and they get in by Charles using his powers to Jedi mind trick the guards. I mean, it was as much of a fucking homage to Star Wars as there could be.
These are not the droids you're looking
Yeah,
for.
it was so good. And then Logan walks through the metal detector and he laughs when it doesn't go off.
Yeah.
He's like, right.
No metal.
He's like,
Not yet.
finally, I can go on planes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Post 9/11. Nixon then reveals the Sentinels, and Charles finds Raven disguised as a Secret Service agent and freezes her. Meanwhile, Eric lifts an entire baseball stadium. I guess that's where the Nationals around. They were
Yeah.
around. Yeah. So it was
The
Nationals.
joke in one of the comments is the Washington Senators used to play there a long time ago. And the Nationals didn't even come to be until the 90s. So why is the guy chalking the lines? Because that stadium wasn't used for like 20, 30 years
Oh, that's funny.
during that decade. Again, it's a movie. Doesn't have to be about reality. In that universe, someone's using it for something.
Right.
Wait, so the writers hired no people that had any background with sports knowledge?
Yeah, but I don't believe that.
Jesus.
Just because it has some history around it,
Right.
doesn't mean it's got to be our history. You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
the Marvel, in the X-Men universe, maybe there's a baseball team in Washington D.C. Like
Earth 616C.
Yeah, there's no
I
mutants
gotcha.
in real life as far
no
as
mutants
we know.
in real life, Josh. Right? So
Then we kind of establish in this movie this is the wrong universe that they need to fix.
Right.
Correct.
So Eric turns the Sentinels on, and he has them fire on regular humans. They bring Nixon into an underground bunker under the White House, but Raven gets in there too. And then Magneto drops the baseball stadium to surround the White House, and he has the Sentinels guard the perimeter.
Nice little fort.
Very cool scene.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, a really good plan. Just drop the stadium on there. No one gets in.
Yeah.
And no one gets out.
Yeah.
Really great.
Back to the future.
See what you did
The Sentinels attack, and Storm and Magneto lead the battle against them. That one girl opens portals to allow Bishop to shoot at them.
Who was that?
Portal Girl, I think.
Yeah, that's her name.
That's her name. Magneto flies the plane out to a bunch of the Sentinels, and then Storm strikes it with lightning to blow them up because, you know, that what happens when a plane gets struck by lightning.
I figure it had a nuclear reactor, maybe?
I think a frog dies when that happens.
A frog dies.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, the same thing that happens to everybody else.
Yeah.
However, some of the shrapnel gets Magneto in the stomach, like a giant piece, and he pulls it out. Then a Sentinel appears and stabs Storm in the back and just throws her away like garbage. Just like Halle Berry in every X-Men movie. She's just worthless.
Oh
Yes.
boy, rough.
Ouch.
Then the Sentinels shoot Bishop until he just fucking explodes. And then Portal Girl makes
Blink.
a portal. Yeah, whatever. Portal Girl.
Her real name, Bing Bing Fan.
I'm not going to touch that. All right, Portal Girl.
Jesus, Joe.
I'm just reading.
Oh, okay.
I'm not even kidding. That's her name, Bing Bing.
I was like, wow, Joe, that's terrible.
Is her name?
That's a real name. All right.
Okay.
So Portal Girl makes a portal so Magneto can go through the portal and get back inside. Portals.
Portal.
Back in the past, Hank asks Logan, in the future, do I make it? And Logan says, no. But we could change that, right? Another cool little scene.
He could have been like Doctor Strange.
Yeah, just hold up a one.
Right.
One.
You have one chance.
So Hank turns into Beast, and Eric has the Sentinel go after them. He's like, do what you were made for, and he sees mutants, so he goes after them. Logan starts charging at Eric, but Eric uses debris to knock him down, and then he just puts metal inside Logan's body. Few years too early.
Easily, barely an inconvenience.
Yeah,
To get rid of Wolverine.
And then he just goes, so much for being a survivor. And then he just flicks him away.
Yeah.
And Logan goes crashing into the water and drowns.
You know, Ian McKellen's Magneto was nowhere near this vicious.
No.
And evil.
No.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Michael Fassbender way more as Magneto.
He's so good.
We talked about
He's so
this last.
intense.
Yeah.
Like Ian McKellen's just like, okay, we're going to do this,
Hold on,
whatever.
hold on.
We're going to kill everyone. Meh.
Yeah, we talked about this last week about how like no one's ever going to touch Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
Like no one's ever going to touch Fassbender's Magneto.
No.
Right. Maybe not. So then Raven tries to shoot Trask, but they grab her because his device went off. And then Eric uses his powers to find the bunker, and he pulls it out of the ground, out of the White House.
Boom.
And he
Gangster.
points all their guns at them and then faces the cameras to him.
Wow.
And this is where he makes his, I mean, the best monologue of the movie. Just makes this big speech as we see the Sentinels rip Colossus apart.
Christ.
And they kill the rest of the young mutants, you know, Portal Girl, Fire Guy, whatever.
Fire guy.
Melt one of their faces off with
Yeah.
the.
It was
Jesus.
horrible. Yeah.
Awful deaths.
Eric says, mutants are the future, and whoever stands in our way will suffer the same fate as these men before you. Today you tried to show your power, and today I give you a glimpse of what my race can do. To my mutant brothers and sisters, no more hiding. First class. Come out, join me, and fight together. A new tomorrow that starts today. Great speech. Then I want to join him from that.
I'm ready. Give me some powers. yeah, and I'll be there.
You have to go to that fucking basement where they tortured Deadpool, and then
All right.
eventually.
We'll see what happens.
So yeah, Mystique disguised as President Nixon confronts Eric. One of the Sentinels starts charging at Eric, so he starts dismantling it from within, and then
Yeah.
Raven shoots Eric in the neck with a non-metal gun while he's distracted.
Yeah, Beast, while he's about to get destroyed, stabs himself with all those
Oh right.
that serum that turns you into
Yes,
a
yes.
human.
Steroids. Reverse
then
steroids.
The Sentinel's like, oh, you're not a mutant anymore. It just looks up and
Right.
sees
Yeah,
Eric
sees
and
Eric.
Mystique, so it goes after him.
That's good, yeah. So yeah, she shoots him in the neck, and then he goes, "Used to be a better shot. Trust me, I still am.
Which
Then
means she didn't want to kill him.
Right.
Yeah.
She knocks him out. Then Raven was about to shoot Trask, but then Charles gets in her head again, and he says, you know, like, all you've done is you've saved the lives of these men. You could show them a better path.
Yeah.
Everything that happens now is in your hands. I have faith in you, Raven.
It was so good because you saw them clashing in the first one, and now he's finally like, I've been trying to control you this whole time,
Yeah.
so I trust you now.
And
Even
Hank
the
is like, shut her down. Like,
Yeah.
no, there's no. Our future depends on just shutting her down, and he still had faith in her.
I mean, James.
It's a big moment.
James McAvee, like we talk about, Hugh Jackman's great in this movie, but McAvee and Fassbender are just the best in this movie. And like McAvee, when he gets emotional, even in that scene where you're like, shut her down, McAvee's like crying. He's like, no, I can't, you know.
Nah, they were on their
so
A
good.
game for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, early in the movie, like, you know, Patrick Stewart finally, you know, like, because in the first X-Men movies, you would never have thought that they were brother and sister at one point because they, you know, changed all of it with First Class.
Yeah.
But he even mentions it. He was like, I tried to, you know, control her and only drove her away. So they set that up for, you know, Charles to let her, to set her free, I guess. So Raven drops the gun, doesn't shoot Trask. And the Sentinels in the future bust in the room and fire at Professor X, Kitty, Magneto, and Logan, but then they disappear.
Everything.
The future's changed.
The only problem I have with this movie is like, after you see all this, if I was a president, I would be like, okay, let's greenlight the Sentinel program. It seems like that's something we should have.
Yeah, because there's still bad ones out there that can hurt us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
After all that, like, yeah.
Oh, President Nixon would have done the right thing, Josh. Come on.
Are you sure?
President
Are you sure?
Nixon?
But it-
Are you sure? Dicky
but-
Trick? Dicky Nick? Dicky Tricky? Tricky Nick?
Oh boy.
Wait, you mean a government official went to jail? Oh, yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
You're crazy. Well, then it shows a paper later where it says Trask gets arrested on, you know,
War crimes.
War crimes. You're like, wouldn't that have happened either way?
Sure. Well, I think especially for the treason, because he brought it to Vietnam, right?
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
So Raven takes off Eric's helmet. You know, he's all yours, Charles. And Charles was trapped under some shit, so he had Eric free him.
That was cool. He got in Eric's mind to use his power to get the thing off of him.
Yeah. And then Charles lets Eric go free because he's like, you know, if you let them have me, I'm as good as dead. And then he lets him leave and Eric flies away. And then Logan wakes up in the future and he's back at the school and the same music is playing from when he woke up in the 70s, you know, the first time or whatever. And everything is fixed in the future. No more Sentinels. The school is open and flourishing. Logan sees Rogue and Iceman and they're together.
Aw.
Probably still can't fuck, but that's, you know, whatever.
I'll figure it out.
If you use the condom, does it work? Yeah.
Nice.
Just his whole body, though.
Whole
just
body
in
condom.
case.
Like a naked guy.
Yeah. Logan sees Kitty and Colossus teaching a class. And then Kelsey Grammer as Beast walks by for a 2-second cameo.
Yeah.
8 hours of makeup.
Late start,
2
Logan.
seconds. Yeah.
Good on him.
Late start, Logan.
And then you've got like the ridiculous Beast in First Class, a cool Beast in this movie.
Yeah.
And then basically the comic Beast.
Yeah, the comic Beast.
Identical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Then he sees Storm walking with some students, and then Logan sees a woman with red hair in a red dress and red
shit.
shoes. It's Jean Grey.
I mean, for God's sakes, I came.
I think
Probably
he did.
just came right there.
And Logan was about to touch her face, but then Cyclops grabs his hand. He's like, "What are you
Cocklock.
Yeah.
doing? Still my woman."
Yeah, fucked up.
Logan's like, "It's good to see you, Scott." And then Scott's like, "Uh-huh."
And he's got kind
walks
of a
away.
middle finger up.
Yeah,
Like, to
that's
grab his
right.
hand.
You pointed that. I never realized that before. Hugh Jackman's like kind of giving him a middle finger. It's amazing.
So awesome.
That had to have been just something they did for like their own like little laugh.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so good. But like, you know, obviously this moment is supposed to be like, oh, Jean Grey's alive. Wow. But I was so much more excited about Cyclops being
I know,
alive.
right?
I was so much happier.
Yeah.
Because Jean Grey in those movies was lame.
Yeah.
And weird and,
And
yeah.
weird.
She was hot. Finnick Jameson. No? Okay.
Yeah, sure, she's
Maybe.
hot.
Whatever.
But like her
Yeah.
character was just boring in those
Have you
movies.
seen poor Frank McJansen now? Like, oh my God.
Oh, no.
She did all this plastic surgery. She looks
Oh.
horrible.
Aww.
I know. It's so sad. She's
You
like,
want another sad thing?
oh no.
The actress who plays Starlight.
She
did that.
Starlight herself.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
she's like
have
a
you not-
plastic doll
Oh
now.
no.
Pull it up. Pull it up.
I'll show you. Yeah, it's awful.
Well, I was going to show you this one first. Like, look at that.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not as bad as.
Look at that.
It's not as bad as Starlight.
What's her
Starlight's
name?
young.
Emily Mortimer.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's right.
Just go to her Instagram and it's all there.
Her
But
last
yeah.
name is Mortimer.
Not Mortimer. It's who's the bad guy in Sherlock Holmes?
Emily Moriarty.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Emily Moriarty.
I think I butchered that. Yeah, I sure did.
I had it earlier.
Really?
I had it up. I can show you later.
Aaron.
Moriarty. I fucked it all up.
We were. Oh, and I can't click anything. And just like plastic surgery, maybe.
Hold on, I'll show you right here. Where is it?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God!
Before and after.
Yep.
Why?
I know.
Why?
I know.
She
it
went
sucks.
Look at how beautiful she is.
She
know.
went full alien.
So what?
It
What?
sucks. Yeah, they were like, Vought. They were
Scott-
like, yeah, Vought got to her.
Thought no.
It's got weird cheeks.
They have to
now.
almost explain that in a
Like
weird way.
her Instagram, you can't comment on most of her posts because people were like, "Why did you fuck up your face?"
So she took off comments.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's a look at. Oh my God.
Isn't that sad?
Why are they
so
doing
sad.
this at young? Like
So dumb.
what about this? Did someone tell her no?
Yeah, like
No, that's not good enough. I
Well,
want you
it
to
was
fuck up your
Vought,
cheeks
for sure.
Make
Yeah.
your eyes skinnier. Plump up those lips. Like,
no.
you know,
Instead, look like an alien.
Look like an alien
maybe
or a
it's-
mannequin.
Let's hope it's for a movie.
God. No, all of her posts are like that. Anyways, back to this. Jean Grey is alive. Obviously, she didn't become Phoenix.
No.
But wait a minute. 2 movies later, takes place in the 90s.
Yeah.
Before all this, she becomes Phoenix and dies.
Andrew,
Hold on.
come on. You're putting too much thought into it. Like Joe said, it's
Yeah.
a time travel movie.
They made one too many movies.
Let's give it some grace.
Let's make Dark Phoenix and ruin everything that Days of Future Past did.
Unless we just agree it didn't happen, like I do.
Yeah, there you go. Finally, Professor X tells Logan, don't you have to class to teach history? And Logan's like, I think I need some help with that. This history is a little different. And then Charles says, welcome back.
Welcome back.
What's the last thing you remember?
Yeah.
And Logan says, drowning.
Yeah.
And we go back to the past where Logan is taken out of the water by Stryker. And the newspaper shows that Trask was arrested for war crimes, like we talked about. Logan coughs up water. They're like, oh, he's still alive. And then Stryker says, I'll take him from here. But then the camera goes right up to his face and his eyes turn yellow. And then when I first saw it, I thought it was awesome because in that also Patrick Stewart, or no, maybe it's McAvee at that point. I forget which one's doing the voiceover. Whatever. I think it's still Patrick Stewart. But anyways, they're like, he mentions like that, the future could change now and,
Right.
and everything. And I thought that was a cool little change. Like, he's not going to have the medal anymore. Like, that's a cool change.
Oh.
But then obviously you fast forward to X-Men Apocalypse and the studios demanded that Hugh Jackman have another cameo. And we're like, well, we might as well do that. And it was a great scene.
Sure.
But I loved this ending.
But it makes no sense in the big scheme of things.
No, but again, there's already been like 7 X-Men movies at that point.
Sure,
you could
sure.
change it up a bit where he doesn't have the medal.
True, but like, why isn't it just Stryker? Like that, like it could have just been Stryker saying,
It would have made
I'll
a
take it
lot
from
more
here.
sense.
Yeah,
But that's
why
the
is
last shot, and that's a sad shot in a way.
no, because
Well,
you know he's got
that's
to
how he
make
gets
Wolverine.
his powers.
Yeah,
But okay,
Yeah,
well,
he's got to become Wolverine.
but in that scene, it's Patrick Stewart talking about how it doesn't have to always be the same. Like you could make things better, and it's a happy ending for Logan.
why?
Well, right. But then
Because
he won't have his
Mystique
metal
saves him.
claws.
Oh, you think that's the reason he's not going to have his medal?
That's why Mystique's there to save him,
But then
and to
he-
make sure he doesn't get captured.
He's
he
got
does,
bones
though.
well,
going
then they
forward.
ruined it in Apocalypse. I
Yes,
know.
yes.
I thought she was there to make sure he goes to the
That's terrible. What? That's awful.
That's why it doesn't make any sense.
Let me
No,
escort
it
you
was-
to the
it was-
lab.
It was she was gonna save him from not getting the medal.
Oh, he's so much better with it though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
But it was just a way to give Logan a happy ending. They didn't really know what they were gonna do going forward.
Well, she
They
can give me a
changed
happy ending.
everything from this ending.
Yeah.
Then we have a post-credit scene showing a young Apocalypse assembling the pyramids.
Yeah.
Once again, changing the history. Like, oh, that's how it was done. It was a mutant.
Right.
Leading into X-Men Apocalypse, which we could do next week if you guys want us to.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yep.
But yeah, what do you guys want to rate this awesome 10 out of 10 movie? I'd say 10 out of 10.
It's got to be 10.
Definitely. I mean, it's really good. 9 for me. Strong 9.
Yep.
Aaron?
I mean, it's a 10. Like, from bringing all of the original trilogy cast back.
Yeah.
Bringing over all of the First Class cast back.
Yep.
So many payoffs of so many things.
Yeah. A couple quick notes. Halle Berry's role as Storm had to be substantially reduced due to her being pregnant during the filming of this. According to Bryan Singer, the mutants Rachel Summers, Psylocke, Deadpool, Nightcrawler, Gambit, and Jubilee were all meant to appear in this movie, but were cut for running time purposes.
Wasn't this the movie that we talked about recently where someone was like, we had to lie to Halle Berry and tell her that her role was going to be bigger in order to agree to do the film?
I don't remember that.
It was something I brought up a few months ago that someone said. I think it was this movie.
So Joe, you're saying that those roles were cut? So there's a cut out there where Deadpool is in this fucking movie?
According to this. Again, this
Where
is
the
IMDb.
fuck is that cut?
Yeah.
No, that would not be the Deadpool you're looking for.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
that's true. God damn it.
Matthew Vaughn, who directed First Class, supposed to return for this film, but he declined to make Kingsman, which is a great movie. So Bryan Singer, who directed the first two in the franchise, jumped in. And I think that's about it. Oh, who was the only actress who didn't return from the original cast?
What, from
The original X-Men.
the first X-Men movie?
The only actress that didn't return.
In this movie,
Correct.
From the first one, huh?
Yeah.
Rebecca Romaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a little trivia. Anybody want to guess what the body count was? How many deaths were in this movie? It's bigger than you think.
40?
Anyone else?
90?
Josh?
Because they flew that whole thing over the city.
But you have to see a death, though. You don't. It's not. It's not
See a
guessing
death?
deaths.
Okay.
How many deaths do we see?
50.
According to this, 61.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does that include the same mutants dying over and over?
maybe.
Do we count the Vietnamese general as a death?
No, he was.
No,
alive.
he was sleeping.
He was sleeping.
He's all tuckered out.
Interesting.
All right, fan questions. Amir, I don't know. I know it doesn't have anything to do with X-Men, but I just watched Shutter Island for the first time, and even though I knew the plot twist, it still blew my mind. That was a good movie. So my question is, which one out of the whole pod crew would end up in a psych ward? That's easy. It's Josh.
Come on.
He should probably be in one.
What?
He lives there now.
I
doesn't
have
he?
the
Or
most
Don't you?
sane, stable mind of this entire place.
Let's give it 6 months. I bet you'll come out better.
I am level as a table.
They just put him in a room and he's like, he just won't stop saying tits and go fuck yourself.
That's
Tits,
fair.
tits,
No.
tits. Here's your food, Josh. Go fuck yourself.
Okay, that might be fair.
Josh, this is where you're gonna live forever.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
What you
fine
guys
with
don't
it.
know is this Josh is already medicated, Josh.
High on life, buddy.
Dylan, guys, please make Aaron watch Talladega Nights. It's so good, Aaron. I promise you won't be disappointed.
You haven't seen that?
Goated.
It's been on my list for a long time. I just haven't gotten around
You gotta
to
get
it.
to it.
We're
yeah.
thinking about doing it soon, yeah.
Oh, that'll be fine. Yeah.
Eric, do you guys think X-Men would work today? A big part of the X-Men is the humans being prejudiced towards mutants. Now everything is being woke and accepting. Also, if they accept the Avengers, they should accept mutants too. Well, they could definitely make,
Yeah, I think so. It's different.
part of being woke is talking about prejudice and all that. Like that's, a big part of it.
Yep.
Steve the Don Valente, can we talk about how great it would have been if Michael Fassbender and Ian McKellen got to talk one-on-one?
Oh,
Yeah.
Like McAfee and Stewart.
damn.
Oh,
That's
you're ready
great.
to destroy all humans.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Right. Carlos Ramirez, I love this film because cameos and fan service, but seriously, the ending got me a little emotional since I didn't expect to see the original team back. These movies got overshadowed by the MCU, and I like seeing them compete with Logan and Deadpool. It was like the Attitude Era of superhero movies, along with DC.
That's
Oh,
funny.
yes. Just seeing them fix everything they did wrong. That I still remember seeing this with Andrew in theaters, and when it was
yeah.
over, we were like, they fixed everything.
Yeah.
They fixed the original trilogy, everything
Right.
they fucked up.
Yep.
Omar, definitely the greatest X-Men film of all time, and more than likely nothing will come close to it. For new X-Men films by the MCU, from the very beginning of this movie, it felt like a few Terminator films with War After Judgment Day.
Maybe.
And then
that's
rounding up the
true.
mutants
That's
like
true.
Terminator Salvation.
Yep.
The road cut of this movie is much interesting because Kitty Pryde sucks. P.S. I really miss the 20th Century Fox drum roll intro into movies. Fuck you, Disney.
yeah.
Go fuck yourself. By the way, I don't remember if it's this X-Men movie, but a couple of them. I think it's this one and Apocalypse, where the Fox intro starts. You know, dun 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 dun. And then it turns into the X-Men song, like the Fox song. Yeah. Not that one.
God damn it.
PCJ, this movie was incredible. The Quicksilver prison scene is in my top 3 Marvel film moments.
Yeah.
Love the casting of Peter Dinklage as Trask. Did you know the script called for Logan to wake up in... Oh, this is what Joe mentioned, the boxer thing. Yeah, that's hilarious. The Rizzler, too bad this is one of the only times Fassbender's Magneto crossed paths with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
Yeah.
Those Sentinels were legit. Not sure why they didn't prolong that type of war between them and X-Men.
That's true. That would be awesome to see all the X-Men go up against the Sentinels. Although it got a little ridiculous when they showed all those things open up and like 200 Sentinels flew out. It's like, well, that wouldn't be a fair fight.
Not at all.
Those things are too powerful.
They were way too powerful. Yeah, for sure.
And they were super, super powerful in this one. Like the Sentinels you see in the comics and like the cartoon, like
They're big robots.
They're tough, but these ones were just invincible.
Right. Exactly. It was like they were too strong.
Yeah. So there you go. That's all for fan questions and comments. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Hollywood Hog Pod. Become a supporter of the show at patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. We're doing Echo right now. We have reviews of Loki, The Last of Us, Invincible, Gen V. It's all a lot of fun. Go subscribe now. And next week, I'll leave it up to the fans again. Should we keep this X-Men train going one more week?
One more week.
Or move on to other things?
Yep.
Let us know. Because people don't like Apocalypse as much. I still love Apocalypse.
So do
it's
I.
not as good as Days of Future Past, but I still love that movie.
Yes, me too.
Let go, Gene.
Yeah.
Gene, let go.
It's so good.
Oh, I get my I almost cry like every time I see that. Yeah.
Goosebumps.
It's so fucking good.
And Quicksilver's scene is fucking amazing too.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week.